So let me ask you, Viz. Let me ask you real fast, Viz, as a teacher. Are you saying that my 14-year-olds are responsible? So when they do something wrong, if, for example, if a 14-year-old slept with a teacher, you're saying that 14-year-old is just as responsible as that teacher that they slept with because he should know better. Are you saying that they're not victims in situations?
I'm not saying that they're
That's
not
a
victims.
good scenario, Shane.
I'm not saying that they're not
He
victims.
didn't say they're not victims.
What
So
I'm
I'll give him
saying
that.
is that at 14, most, if not all, unless you have some mental disorder or whatever the case may be, and even in those situations, I would still say that it's the same. At 14, you know what is right from wrong. You have some type of understanding of what is right and what is wrong.
If you have more guidance, yes. Because when my daughter was 14, she had the option of starting to talk to boys or not, but I was guiding her like, hey, hold off, wait. She could have easily went in the other direction. And
But
I
did
knew
she
that
do it?
she didn't do it because I stressed upon her all of the consequences. I spoke to her. I kept it open. I did a whole lot in order to sway her from the different choices her friends made. She could have easily went the other way. And I knew at 14 I was sneaky. So I respected her that she was open and honest with me. But when you don't have a parent that's there for you to guide you, you can easily make a decision at 14 that I made a decision at 14 that I still have to live with today.
So
and listen, it's not even
let me
about.
address that real quick. Let me address that real quick. Let me address that real quick. Let me
Hold
address
on, wait. Disclaimer. Hey guys, I'm 45 now. So if you go back to 14, I'm in the clear. I'm in the clear. I just want y'all to know that you can't go. It's been too long. Statute of limitation passed.
So really, a 14-year-old real fast, as a person who deals with 14-year-olds every day, yes, we think they know. Some of them know stuff, some of them don't know stuff. Okay, they make poor decisions every single day. They're still learning. Okay, because in that case, I can just punish them like I'm a punishing an adult. Even when you do something, listen. It depends on what they do. But even when
that's why kids now
listen. So let me ask you a question, Viz. So let me ask you a question. Let's think back, Viz. So you did everything right. Do you have any kids out of wedlock?
I do.
Okay, so you made a poor decision. And
I
you
did.
Can say, I was young.
I didn't know any better. And I knew. No. I knew what I was doing in that moment. There's no way that you can sit here and logically tell me that even in the situation of what Ruth just said, she explained this to her daughter, X, Y, and Z. Her daughter then was able to make the decision of either listening to her or not. We're making this something that's extremely.
So what I'm saying to you is real fast. So what I'm saying to you is, were you able to at whatever age you were? Let's just say it's a 14-year-old who gets pregnant by 8. Do you think a 14-year-old is able to foresee the consequences of their action? Like now, I just got pregnant. Now getting pregnant means I'm about to have a baby. Now having a baby means I got to give up my life, which means that now I'm gonna lose sleep. All of the kids don't think like that. They think on surface level.
They don't. They do not.
Like
and you know why they think like that? Because you aren't reprimanding them in the sense of them being an adult. You're not showing them any consequences. You're doing exactly what you just said of where it depends on what it is. No, that is not how life works. Why would we teach children a way of how life does not work? That doesn't make sense. That's why we have. Hear me out. That is why we have children. That is why we have children now that are making decisions, teenagers making decisions that is completely just like, what the fuck are you thinking? And that is happening because they have no consequences. No one is holding them accountable for their decisions. We have 13-year-old girls and boys that are carjacking people. Mm-hmm. This is real.
It's happening not because they don't have consequences. It's happening because they don't have guidance.
This is happening because they don't have guidance.
Not because they don't have consequences. It's happening because they don't have guidance.
Because we're
like, that's not
coddling
true.
They need somebody.
They're not being coddled. They're not being taken care of at all. They're raising themselves.
I think that I will say,
it's kids raising themselves in New Orleans. They're raising themselves. They're the truancy levels. They're not going to school. They're literally raising themselves. They're latchkey kids or latchkey, whatever you call it. Their parents work 3-4 jobs. They don't have any supervision, day in, day out, up, sunrise, sundown. They are literally, the streets are raising them. So it's not that they don't have consequences. They have no guidance or structure in order to them to understand what consequences and right and wrong and what can happen to your life down the line. It's the whole reason why you have people in jail that didn't want to give back to the community after they done served 30 years. Now they see where they went wrong because they had no guidance before they did the 30 years. Now they're grown enough to understand.
And they don't have guidance because we're steady feeding into this same narrative. I don't understand the logic of me simply saying that we need to hold our children accountable.
I'm not
so that we can. I don't understand the logic of saying that we need to hold our children accountable as a society, as a culture, as a community, much rather than making the excuses. We can make excuses all day long, but a wise man once said that excuses only sound good to the person that's giving them. At the end of the day, we have to make some type of change. We have to come up with some type of solution. And in my opinion, the first thing that we can do is start holding each other accountable, regardless of how old it is that we are.
So listen, I agree with what you're. So after I talk, I want AP to talk. Nobody else talks except for AP. Okay. So I agree with what you're saying. I think I agree with both of you guys are saying. There needs to be consequences. There needs to be guidance. But psychologically, like even with the way the brain works, we know that at a certain age it's fully developed, right? It's just certain things that we just cannot, it's the reason why you can't do certain things at certain ages. All those laws are there for a reason. Okay. So you can't debate science. You can't debate research. I said, well, hold on. It's biz.
I hear you.
A lot of people just,
but you have your degree in this, Shan, don't you?
Okay.
Don't you have your degree in it? You have your degree, so you know what's developmentally appropriate for a 14-year-old, right?
For 14-year-old. It's the same reason it steps to educate people. Now, I understand the hard not like you. Some kids learn faster than others because they're very, you live in a certain neighborhood. You gotta live a certain way, right? I get that. But what I'm saying to you is everybody on this panel has made mistakes growing up. We cannot say that we're a different person now than we were when we were 14. We do not act like 14-year-olds for a reason, right? Because we're immature. And so everything in hindsight, I can sit here as a 46-year-old and say at 14, I was not thinking. It's some shit I know now, even from 10 years ago, that I've learned up until this point, because it takes growth, it takes experience, it takes life lessons. There's so many things. It's a journey, right? And for a 14-year-old, they haven't that and in different areas. So I'm just saying, just have a little bit of, just keep that in mind. We can't have 14-year-olds doing the same thing 46-year-olds. We're just not.
That's as a grown man. As a grown man, I can't accept that. Now, for you as a woman, that's fair.
We understand your point because we heard it twice. Okay, we get it. Let people rebuttal what you're saying, and then we'll come back around to you. Okay.